everyone. How you guys doing? Dr. Nana here. With me today is Dr. Chris, my husband.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you all.
Hi all.
So today is January 1st, 2024. And as you know, I always wake up at the middle of the night thinking about Nigeria. You know that. Absolutely. And I always want to do something because the state of affairs in Nigeria is not something that, if you truly love the country, you want to just move past and say it doesn't concern you. So in my view, the Nigerian system as we know it is almost disappearing. So today I just want to go through the state of affairs of Nigeria. I want you to talk about it, and I want you to see how you can inject the youth, how you can motivate them. Going back to what you told them 2-3 years ago, I remember here when you showed them the phones and how to use it. Let's take Edo State as a case study. I know that Edo State, the last time I remember, there's an Oba there, there's a state governor. Or the state of affairs in Nigeria, especially that Edo State, and the way I'm seeing things online, how young men kill each other, and so many things are happening. I just wanted to touch base with that.
Well, Happy New Year to you, Dr. Nana.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. We want to start the year this year. If you just take a quick peek on Google and find out, you will see Google, what is poverty line in Nigeria 2023. You will find out that Google says nearly 12% of world population in extreme poverty lives in Nigeria. Again, 12% of the world poor.
12%
of the total world population live in Nigeria. So that is significant, and is bound to trigger some ripple effects that we are now seeing all over Nigeria. Again, I will generally admonish everyone in Nigeria and tell them that, like we have always told them, the solution is not with a leader. If my memory don't fail me, I will remind you again, Dr. Nana, that as I've always told you, that since I've been blamed for Nigeria's situation over and over again for the past 50 years, yet we still have a problem. That only tells us something. It's either the person, the leadership is not the problem, and followership is the problem, or some other factors are mitigating to put Nigeria in the condition that they find themselves. So what should youths do? Going forward, I want to first of all thank them for using our advice from 2 years ago.
Yes.
I recall that 2 years ago we told them to use the phone. It will expose a lot of stuff. Religious leaders are being called out day in, day out. And people are discovering that politicians also are getting in the mix. They are being called out because of technology and phone specifically. So they should continue. But I want to also throw in the advice that they should use the phones wisely. I've discovered the pattern that wherever one goes, everybody wants to go.
Yeah.
What is raining online is this bantering. People bantering themselves instead of exchanging intellectually how to move the nation forward, how to develop technology, how to improve our agricultural sector, how to advance ideas that their lawmakers may push at the legislative level so that the government can make policies that will impact the lives of people. So most of the youth, they spend their time online fighting each other, bantering themselves, calling out, using slur languages. That's a misuse of resources. And I will advise them that in this 2024, let them engage more. You don't have to be educated academically to engage in academic intellectualism. You see, some people are street smart, agberos, but there are groups of agbero. They are the thugs, the vandals. They call them agbero. But there are some agbero that are actually agbero. Agbero means people who call passengers into commercial vehicles. So those people can engage intellectually in their own field. That's the experience. So everybody must not be a hooligan on online. Everybody must not be bantering and cussing out people or trying to show off or to pretend live fake life. They should just listen that and move forward. Advance ideas. Let people know the challenges of Nigerian youths so that we can push for ideas that will help them get resources to improve the nation. The legislators are not going to do it unless the youths push for it. And the way to push for it is for them to continue to be pressure group. As per the Edo State situation, this also intertwine with what is going on generally in the nation. But in the case of Edo State, because of the nature of the state and the people, a confluence of people, you are bound to have disagreements. But again, I think it's a misplaced ideology for people to think that they can destroy lives and properties and think that they are building a future for themselves. A situation where you are trying to be superior to your neighbor or people that
so
are
if
not
I
like
may
you.
come in here, Dr. Chris, thank you. If I may come in here, since the inception of these killings that have been carrying out in Benin, in Edo State as a whole, have there been a change of government, or have there been a change of the Oba, the mothers and the fathers of those children that are being murdered every day on the street? What are they doing about it? What would be our advice now to the Oba of Benin, for instance, and the governor that continue to see things like this happening? The lives of youth are being destroyed every day.
The loss of life is a tragedy generally. It is tragic. It's a tragedy to lose one life, particularly young lives, because when nations continue to lose the young ones, the future is not guaranteed.
Yes.
So yeah, a problem starts with something leads to problems. So when there's a problem, the first question to ask is, what is the cause of the problem? So it starts, the solution comes after you ask that question and get an answer. Then you can address the root of the problem. In the case of the young people who are fighting and killing each other in Edo State, eliminating the future of men, in Edo State, I think the leaders, including the Oba and the governor, the deputy governor,
The legislators.
the legislators of the state and at national level should move for policies that will address the issue, not banning anybody. Force cannot take this out. First of all, you need to form committees that will see to the reason why there is this clash between groups and gangs in Edo State. Because what's taking place in Edo State is actually gang war. Gang, children fighting for supremacy and killing each other. It's because of their level of understanding.
But do you think there might be somebody in underneath this? Because it's not normal. It's not normal for the governor and the Oba and everybody to just be quiet. It's not normal.
Well, I don't think they are quiet. It's a problem, and they can only do much. Again, I go back to what I said. What is the root of the problem? If the root of the problem is something that is beyond their power, the government can use force. The government can use laws. The government can enforce laws. But it is the root of a problem that continues to be the cause of a problem. So they need to set up a committee of like mind to find out, to actually tell them what is the cause, a neutral body that is not part of the issue, so that that neutral body can actually prefer lasting solution to the situation in Edo State. And I think, in my own personal view, where it comes from is to continue to appeal to the minds of these young ones that there's no gain in ego tripping. Ego tripping, you want to be supreme to your fellow, you want to dominate the other fellow man, and all those
but
clannish
something
fights.
is triggering that.
Yeah,
There's something triggering that, because this
everything
is
in
not,
Nigeria,
that's not our culture, that's
everything
not
in
our
Nigeria
nature.
is triggered by the situation of the country,
of the economy,
which is the poverty.
That's
but it's
exactly.
not only affecting Edo State. The reason the Edo State one is really hot is because there is also, it's now prompted some ego tripping, masculinity, you want to dog eat dog, and then all these kind of things, and so it exacerbates the situation. So let the government set up a panel that will be of neutral body that can profile solution, and then they can make policies, and the policy should not be tribal, it should not be sectional, it should not be leaning towards a group or the other. It should be a neutral policy, and by a neutral body. For the factions that are really warring in Edo State, you have to find people who can mix up in a panel and profile a solution and address their leaders. The solution will come from the leaders of those organizations.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chris. Look at this. So what my intent of today's program is, because today is 1st of January 2024. If you see something and you need a solution, you have to be part of the solution. And that's the reason why, even though it's been a long time that I wanted to talk about it, and we decided to talk about it today. I want to appeal to the heart and mind of the youths in Edo State, because today we are taking a case study of Edo State. That really, there's no reason why you should kill yourselves. Really, there's no reason for that, and that's not our culture. That's these are lives that are being destroyed. The future doctors, future academicians, professors, attorneys, farmers, bankers, engineers. These are the future of Nigeria. Future husbands.
Future fathers.
Future fathers. There's no reason. I just want you to call yourself to order. Think about it. And recently in the House of Assembly, there are
get the illicit trade in human organs. The House knows that about 2 weeks ago, acting on information provided by an anonymous source, Chinese authorities seized a ship that sailed from Nigeria with 7,200 refrigerated penises and provides safe havens and ready supply channels for these illicit activities. Concerned that harvest of organs can only be done by medical personnel with the aid of rogue public officials. Also concerned that perpetrators of this illicit trade by the year 2009 were generating between $600 million to $1.2 million profit annually, and have been encouraged by poor security situation to use the third world as major suppliers, taking unfair advantage of the poorest and most vulnerable in the world. Cognizant that the international community has made efforts to curb the menace of the red market or trade in illicit organs, such as the Istanbul Declaration, which urged professionals to put an end to unethical actions where organs of unfortunate victims of economic migrations and human trafficking in Europe and the Middle East are ripped off, thereby constituting a gross abuse of their rights. The House, therefore, resolves to mandate the Committees on Human Rights and National Security and Intelligence to investigate the whole gamut of this value chain known as red market or illicit market in human organs.
I watched a video clip last week wherein just the private parts were the ones served in one restaurant. I didn't want to believe it, that it was human private part that was being served until when I saw his motion. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. Let's have it.
What I will advise the youth, I know they are angry. Most of them are angry, and rightfully so, because of the situation of the country. But they should sit back and say, are we handling this situation the right way by killing each other? Killing will not resolve it. You are only eliminating yourselves. The people you are targeting, they are far away from you and safe. So killing is not the solution. What they can do is call yourselves in groups. Forget about whatever binds a clique of you. Come together as youths of Edo State. Write proposals and form pressure group to push those proposals to legislative policy. You are a policy person.
Yeah.
You know, policy starts with agenda, and the agenda, the people have to push the agenda, push the ideas. So they as youths should come together. Forget about this war that they are fighting as gangs.
There's no reason
Come
for
together,
that.
write solid proposal, what you need in your areas, what will solve the problem for you immediately, the temporary solution. I know a long-term solution is solving the poverty problem of Nigeria. But at least there are temporary things that can kind of cool the temper, which is what we need. Then they will write proposal how the government can come in and help them through their local government councilmen, council chairmen, legislators of the state, through the federal legislators. Then those things will be pushed. You can now push through the diasporans. You have diasporans who can help you push this thing to the legislators, and government will make them work. But killing yourselves will not solve it. It will only exacerbate
So
it.
in our closing, we just want to remind the leaders of Nigeria, specifically because we are talking about Benin as a case study, that their job is not to sit down and watch things happen. Okay, yes, maybe they might be taking a lot of they may have been taking some actions, but obviously for what we are seeing online, those actions are not enough. So 2024, 1st of January, we are here to remind you all that you still have a duty as an official of a state. Your job is to protect the life and property of your citizens, and that you are failing. So I hope that our admonition today will touch you to know that you are the future of Nigeria, spanning from Edo State. And the die is cast, and I hope that you people resolve these things amicably and speak to the legislatures, as my husband said, because policy is everything. You have to push the agenda so that they will look into it and adopt a policy that will take care
of the killings.
Enough of the killings.
Enough of the innocent young lives being taken. It's time to address it. The leaders must stand up and be counted. Thank you. Happy New Year.